Listen, please like, subscribe, and share our YouTube channel. Give him all my praises, 'cause he died for you and me. Bringing awareness to domestic violence. You don't want to miss it, so tune in every Tuesday night at 7 p.m. on Facebook. Let's talk. And that's why I keep praising him, 'cause Let's talk. He's so amazing, yes, he's amazing. Give him all my praises, 'cause he died for you and me. We're going to chat it up a little bit. For those of you, this is your first time, I am Rebecca. I am WarriorShe. I am a domestic violence survivor 9 advocate. WarriorShe is my brand, something that God gave me. This is a platform where we allow people to come on, tell their testimonies. Domestic violence survivors, breast cancer survivors, survivors of depression, survivors of suicide attempt, homelessness, alcoholism, drugs. We've had a little bit of all on this show. We've had authors. We've had some powerful testimonies. So this is the platform that God gave me, and I don't take it lightly. I am humbled and I'm honored that God chose me as WarriorShe. So every Tuesday night we're here. I got a service coming up where WarriorShe is presenting a night of praise and worship. A part of my ministry is that bringing awareness to domestic violence in the body of Christ. So I am also a promoter, and my services, I decided a few years back that I'm going to dedicate them to bringing awareness to domestic violence. So we're going to come together in ministry and song, and we're going to sing, and we're going to let the Holy Spirit just have His way on June 12th. We're going to be at Greenfield Farm, is known as the Black Cowboys Ranch in Rembert. I think that's on Spencer Road. We're going to be there on June 12th. The gate is going to open at 4. The doors are going to open at the service is going to start at 5. And right now we are doing an early bird ticket sale. You can get your tickets for $10 until this Friday, the 21st. You can inbox me, cash out me, if you haven't gotten your ticket and you want to take advantage of that early bird special. After this Friday, the 21st, the tickets is going to be $15 at the gate. After the 21st, we're not going to be doing tickets. We're just going to be $15 at the gate. But I promise you, you don't want to miss this. We have the powerful anointed Brown sisters coming out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama. That's Minister Krishan and her daughter Crystal Smith, along with the amazing background singers, some powerful anointed women of God. They're coming out of Tuscaloosa, Alabama. We got George Dickens and the Gospel Disciples are going to be there out of North Carolina. Powerful anointed group. We've got the Voices of Harmony coming out of Cowpen, South Carolina. Amazing, powerful young women. We got the Spiritual Uplifters. Oh my God, I love these guys. Coming out of Florence, South Carolina. We got Melody Smalls and the Volunteers of Sumter going to be there. We got the Spiritual Caravans of Sumter going to be there. And we got, this is one of my favorite groups, the Spiritualettes out of New Zion, South Carolina. With my sister Rhonda McFadden, a powerhouse vocalist in her own right. Oh my God, it's a bad chick. She's going to be my MC for that night, and she also sings with the Spiritualettes out of New Zion. We got some vendors that's going to be out there. We're going to be selling some food. It's an outdoor venue. You can bring your lawn chairs if you like. We're going to have chairs there. We're going to be at the pavilion. We're going to have chairs there, but you're welcome to bring your lawn chairs. Bring your mask. If you don't bring one with you, we're going to have some at the gate because we want you wearing your mask. We are still in a pandemic, even though we're in a better place than we were last year. So we're going to be able to social distance, and we're going to have some church. I need this. I need this worship service for me. Um, I tell you, because every day I get I go on Facebook or somebody inbox me, a woman or a child has been murdered due to domestic violence. So we're going to have some brochures um, from the Domestic Violence National Hotline. We're going to have some of those brochures. We're going to have some brochures for Domestic Violence Hotline. The Sheriff Department is something as well. We're going to have those to give those out. And I'm going to be blessing a few folks with a couple of gifts. I just want to be a blessing to somebody that day. But you guys, get your tickets, $10 until this Friday. Come and hang out with us. Come and worship with us on June 12th at the Black Cowboys Ranch in Renberg. So I am waiting to see if I see my guest on, Miss Lorraine Smith. I don't see her yet. So I'm just going to wait a little bit. So how y'all doing? Y'all talk to me. I know Pastor Sonia, she's on here. Pastor Sonia Pearson, she has, her church has an outdoor service they're going to be doing in July. I don't remember the date. Pastor, put your date in a comment section. They're going to be at the field. It's called the Field. She has a flyer up in Sumter, and that's going to be in July. A lot of good singing and ministry is happening this summer, so we want y'all to come out and support. Let's support each other. Let's be a blessing to each other and a blessing to other people. So I hope to see you guys on June 12th. Tell your friends about it. Bring them out with you. If you want to get your early bird ticket for $10, you got until this Friday to get an early bird ticket. And then after that, it goes to $15 at the gate. Hi, Lorraine. I see my guest is here in the room. Lorraine, give me a minute, and I'm going to send you an invite. Okay, Lorraine, why can't I find you in here? Okay, Lorraine, I'm trying to find you. I am trying to pull my guest up so I can send her an invite, and I don't see her in here. Lorraine, can you send me an invite to add you in? I don't know why I'm not able to find your name in here. That is weird. Normally I could just go in and search your name and pull you up. Okay, devil, not tonight. Not tonight. Y'all give me a minute. Be patient with me. I don't know what's going on tonight. I can't even pull her up to send her an invite. Lorraine, can you send me an invite to add you in with me? I don't know why I can't see your name at all. I'm searching your name and I can't find it at all. And I know we're friends on Facebook. Okay, Lorraine, can you send me an invite? Y'all, this ain't nothing but that old devil. Okay, guys, I'm trying to get her in. I'm trying to get her in. This is so weird tonight. This is a new one for me. I've never not been able to find my guest to bring them in, but I cannot find Lorraine to even send her an invite to come in with me. Lorraine, are you able to send me a request to add you in? Okay, guys, give me a minute. Give us a minute. We're going to get this thing straight. We're going to get this thing worked out. We're going to get her in here. We're going to get her in here. It's so weird. I do not see an option to invite myself. Okay, Lorraine, look down at the comments. You're gonna see look like two little men or something like that, or two little people. If you click on that, you should see where could send me, say add to live or something like that. And if you do that, you should be able to send me. Y'all, this is so weird. There she is. I found you, Lorraine. Lorraine, I just sent you an invite to bring you in. All you got to do is accept it, and then you'll come on into the live. You see the invite, Lorraine? I just sent you one. Be patient with us, guys. Okay. Yeah, Lorraine, I sent you an invite. So I'm waiting for you. I'm waiting for you to accept it. If you look down there somewhere where the comments are, where you can put a comment in that area somewhere down there, you should be able to see. It might be red lit up or blue, where it says invite to add. Okay, guys, let's give Lorraine a few seconds to accept the invite. This is Lorraine's first time doing a Facebook Live, guys. So I need one of my previous guests, Elaine, tell Elaine, Lorraine, our request. Put it in a comment. This is the first time I'm going on a Facebook Live show. So let's help her out, guys. Let's help her get in. Thank y'all for being patient. I truly appreciate it. Lorraine, my folks gonna help you get in. Lorraine, are you on your cell phone? I can get a little bit from your cell phone, but if you're on an iPad or a tablet, I don't know. Because I always use my cell phone when I go live, so I don't even know how to send an invite and stuff from my laptop. Lorraine, I don't your chat in my inbox. you're gonna accept the live, the invite right here in the live. I see I should try to laptop. Okay, she's on a laptop, guys. Does anybody know how to tell? Lorraine, come, come, get off your laptop and come into the live video on your cell phone. Facebook on your cell phone and come in on your cell phone. I can't get in on your laptop. I don't know how to do it, not even from my own laptop. So if you come in on your cell phone, you should see the invite that I sent you. It'll be down in the area where it comments, where you can put a comment in. So get off of your laptop and come in on your cell phone. Guys, we have really, really got to learn how to do live out of a laptop. For real, for real. And I'm saying we. I'm talking about me too. I know how to go live in my laptop, but I don't know if I need you to get off of your laptop and get on your cell phone and come live with me on your cell phone. If you can do that. I thank y'all for being patient with us. There she is. Yes.
How are you?
I am wonderful. How are you?
I'm great, thank you. Great, thank you. At last, at last.
Yes.
I was using my laptop, and I thought I could, but here we are.
You know, and I don't know how to even, I know how to go live from my laptop, but I don't even know how to bring a guest in.
Okay, well,
Yeah.
we're here.
So it's
now.
not just you. It's
Okay.
matter of fact, it's all of us. I've had several people try to come in live from their laptop, and they like, I don't know how to accept the invite, and I'm like, I don't know how to tell you because I don't know how to do it. But welcome. Good to see you.
Well, thank you so much. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. I've been looking so forward to being a part of your show, and I do thank you so much for inviting me. This is such an honor, and I really do appreciate this.
Oh, you are so welcome. I am so honored to have you here tonight.
Well, thank you, thank you, thank you.
You are more beautiful than what you are on your pictures.
It takes one to know one.
Yes, you're beautiful. Huh?
It takes
You're
one
absolutely
to know
good.
one.
Oh, thank you, love. I didn't tell my guests much because my people's much. I call my audience my people because they're my peoples. We're kind of laid back here. We're real, we're just laid back. And I like it like that. I don't have the formal stuff because I want my people to come on and feel comfortable and feel at home. So that's what we do here.
The Sumter way.
The Sumter way. That's it. Absolutely. So I did, all I told them was that you are a breast cancer survivor. You are an author. You have a book out called Still Searching.
Correct.
And that you're now living in Massachusetts.
I am.
Because I read your bio that you sent to me the other day, but I want you to be the one to tell them your story. Excuse me, who you are. Excuse me, guys, my allergies. And who you are and your journey of breast cancer. I guess we can kind of start with, we can start wherever you want to start. You can start with your journey first and then tell us, what you're doing now, about your book, wherever you want to start. I'm going to give the floor to you.
Well, thank you so much. And once again, thank you so much for giving me this platform to tell my story. Originally I'm from Sumter, South Carolina, born and bred, went to Sumter High School, graduated in 1978, go Gamecocks.
Wow.
And I went on to Johnson C. Smith University, majored in communication arts, and graduated in 1982. And then after
Wait a minute. You said you graduated in 78?
High school.
Do you know my brother Porky?
Yeah.
You know my sister Mary Jane graduated in 77?
I have to see her. The
Mary
name
Jane
doesn't
came
sound,
out in
but I know Pokey.
77. She was on the band. Porky came out in 79.
Okay, I remember him.
Oh, okay. All right. Okay.
Small
Back
world,
at it.
small world. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I went on to Johnson C. Smith and majored in communication arts. And, I came up to Boston. My dad is originally from Boston, from the Cambridge area. So after college, my grandmother said, well, why don't you come to Boston? If you don't like it, you could always go back to something. I'm like, okay. So I came up and I got a job, and so I stayed. I, came to Boston is a love-hate city. There's some days you love it, and there's some days you don't. But I've been here almost 40 years, so I think I love it more than I don't. Yeah.
Keep talking. I don't know what happened to my sound.
Okay.
Keep talking.
And then, I'm currently employed with an engineering consulting firm. I've been there for 20 plus years. And before that, I worked in television for like 15 years or so as a creative services administrator for an NBC affiliate here in Boston. And that was wonderful. I really enjoyed that. But I want to talk, and I have an amazing son. His name is Joshua. He's my life. He's an adult now, but he'll always be my baby.
That's right.
And he's here working in education here in the Boston Public Schools. So I wanted to talk about the book and breast cancer because they meet. They have an interesting meeting.
Gotcha.
So I always loved writing. I mean, in college, high school, I always wrote short stories. Always, really enjoyed that. And back in the early 90s, I wrote this book, this manuscript, still searching. So I wrote it, sent it out. And during that time, there was no internet. So you had to send each manuscript out to each publishing house. So I sent, it was at least 50 copies of the 1 or 2 chapters, or the first 3 chapters of the book. And I received rejection letter after rejection letter after rejection letter after rejection letter. And so I just said, you know what? Maybe it's just not in the cards for me right now. Maybe God is trying to tell me, concentrate on what's in front of you, which was my son.
Right.
And so, I was like, okay, fine. I got it. Maybe it's just not for me. We'll just put it on the back burner and see what happens. So fast forward to 2015, 16, I was at work in my office, and my manuscript is in a cabinet in my office. And that little inner voice said, take me out. Take me out. I ignored it. And never ignore that little voice.
That's right.
But I did. I ignored it. And, a couple of months went by. I would hear it every so often. I wouldn't pay any attention. I'm like, when you've been when you've been rejected like that, I know I'm done. You got the old boyfriend. Don't want to go back there.
Right.
So, but it kept, the voice kept coming. It just didn't stop. Months, like 6 months later, I'm still hearing this voice. So I said, okay, let me pull this thing out. So I pulled it out, looked at it, and well, you again. And, I did some editing, dusted off, did some editing, rewriting, restructured a couple of characters and things of that nature. And I said, what the heck? I'll send it out again. And so I sent it out again. And like I said, this is like 2015, 2016. I mean, 2016, 2016. And lo and behold, I'm getting publishers calling me and, writing me saying, we're really interested in this book and we want to publish it. And I'm like, oh my God, this is great, So I started going through, different publishing houses and, looking at various contracts and things of that nature. I wanted to go being the first time writer. I wanted to go with the smaller publishing house because they'll hold your hand more so than a larger publishing house. It's more like it's a factory over there. But, some people have great success with, large publishing houses. I don't have anything against them, but being a first time writer, green, I wanted someone to hold my hand. So I signed a contract with Dorrance Publishing, and here we go. We started editing and doing that sort of thing for the book. Okay, now I signed my contract in October of 2017. December of 2017, I had my mammogram. And my annual mammogram, I go every year, no problem. See you next year, Lorraine. It's like routine. This time it was different. I went in, had the mammogram, and they said, have a seat. I'm like, okay.
Wow.
I'm like, okay. And so, I had the seat, and then they called me back in and said, we see something. We want to get the radiologist in here. We want to do a biopsy. Okay.
Oh, wow.
He said, so the doctor came in, did the biopsy. Now, this is like in December. Just keep this in mind. This is in December.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay. So now they said it'll take a couple, like 10 days. Okay, fine, 10 days. But those 10 days were the worst 10 days of my life, not knowing
Yes.
what's going on. Okay, well, after the 10 days, there's going to be another delay because there was a shortage. It was the Christmas season. So there's a shortage, and people on vacation and that sort of thing. So it took a little longer.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay, so I got the call. Lorraine, come into the office. When anyone tells you to come into an office, it's usually not a good thing. So I met with the doctor, and they said, you have breast cancer. And that's all I heard. You have breast cancer. Like how on Charlie Brown, the teachers, wah, 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 wah.
Mm-hmm.
Everything after that, it was just wah, 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 wah. Didn't hear anything else. And I'm like, oh my God, what, are you sure? Like, yeah, and you want to schedule you for a lumpectomy. They said, it's, less than, a couple of centimeters and that sort of thing. We can get this, we can get it early. The recovery rate and it's great. And I'm like, okay, so we want to get you into surgery like the first week of January. I'm like, okay. So I'm at home. It was like, the week before Christmas, or the week of Christmas and New Year's. So that week, that's when I found out.
Wow.
So I need, yeah, Merry Christmas to me.
Yes.
So now I had to let that sink in for me before I could tell anyone. So of course, the first person I'm going to tell is my son. And I didn't, it's just he and I, so it's like, how do I tell my son that I have breast cancer? Because a lot of people, when they hear the word breast cancer, the first thing they think is a death sentence, which it's not, but we're just accustomed to thinking that. But now with technology and medicine, it's just amazing. So my son came over with his girlfriend on New Year's. But I called him and I said, are you going to come over like tomorrow, New Year's Day? And he said, no, I'm coming over New Year's Eve. I'm like, okay. Yeah, because they were going out and that sort of thing. So they came over and we had a nice, conversation, nice visit and everything. And they were getting ready to leave. So I said, before you leave, I want you to have a seat. And yet again, when someone says have a seat, it's usually not good news.
Right.
So I'm like, I went to the doctor, had a mammogram, and they found something. They found some cancer cells, and I have breast cancer. Well, it was devastating. I mean, and I'm, like I said, it's just he and I. So I'm sure he thought first thing my mom's going to leave me. But thank goodness for, Josh's girlfriend, Atira, because she was there with me to help console him and tell him that it's going to be okay. And I kept saying, they got it early. It's going to be okay. We're going to be good. Mama's not going anywhere. So, after an hour or so, we got him together and, that was that. So I went in for my my lumpectomy, had surgery, like the first week in January. And after that, I scheduled for chemo and radiation. Chemo is not for the weak. Let me tell you.
I've heard.
I think if you can get through chemo, you can do anything on this earth. And so I went through the chemo, but I was doing chemo and editing the book at the same time. And I'm so glad I chose Dorrance Publishing because they were very patient. They understood. They held my hand, said, you take care of you first, and, this book can come later. So when I did have some good days, I would edit and that sort of thing, and with them and, correspond and things of that nature. So I had the chemo, I had the radiation, and, we got the book the way we wanted. So March of 2019, or April 2019, the book was published. But, and so I'm just, what I learned from that whole experience is that tomorrow's not promised. Live each day as it's supposed to. And it's so sad, I guess I can say that, because it would take something like that for you to realize that, life is a gift and you shouldn't take it for granted.
Yes.
And, things of that nature. So, but, I'm in remission. I'm 4 years cancer free, thank God.
Wow,
and,
thank God.
Yeah. So, it's a journey. It's not easy, but you can get through it. If it wasn't for my friends and family, my support system, I had an amazing team at Mount Auburn Hospital here in Cambridge, Massachusetts. And you need an amazing team at the hospital. You need an amazing family team. You need an amazing work team. Because in the beginning, when I first was diagnosed, I didn't necessarily want to tell people. And it's not because I was ashamed or anything. It's because I didn't want that look.
Yeah.
That look.
Yeah.
When you say you have breast cancer, it's like they already got you in the morgue.
Yeah.
And I didn't want that look. But I said, you need a support system. You need people there to hold your hand and get your glass of water and, cook some soup or whatever the case may be, or just to talk.
Yeah.
So I began telling people, and an interesting thing, when I began telling people, they're like, well, I had it too. I'm like, you did? And so,
wow.
You just never know until you open up and share. It's because people that, I had no idea who've gone through breast cancer, they were a great source of information for me, because there's some things that the doctors don't know that you go through. They do the medical stuff, but there's a lot of emotional and, mental and, things that only we go through, So it was very beneficial when, because my thing is, if we know better, we'll do better.
Absolutely.
So, and education and information is very powerful. So I thank God that I said, okay, I'm going to share, because, the support group system was just amazing. So, and even now that I've shared that I've, had breast cancer, people who are now just going through it, they're telling me, Lorraine, I have breast cancer. What did you do when this happened? As far as, insurance is concerned, because there's so many things that come at you at one time, and so you just have to, you have to be informed. And so now I'm helping other people who I didn't have the information at the time, but I have it now. And, now I can share that with them and so on and so on.
That's amazing.
That's basically my story. The emotional part of just your hair, you're shaking the shower and your hair is coming out after your first 1 or 2 treatments of chemo. Having rides, getting back and forth from chemo or radiation or whatever the case may be, someone to pick up your groceries for you. It's just all these things that you used to do and thought nothing of it, you necessarily can't do anymore.
Right.
So that support system was amazing. So, and I thank God for my friends and family every day for just being there for me, just even to talk, just even to talk. And it kind of made me.
Go ahead.
It kind of made also, even though I've already, planned for when I'm not here, but it kind of made me even go back and look at that and say, okay, do you want to make any changes or anything, things of that nature. So it kind of put life in perspective, and everybody needs a will. People get a will. I don't care if you have 2 nickels and a pencil. Put it in writing. Give
Right.
a will. It's, because you don't want to leave your family members wondering what did he or she want, what were their wishes or whatever. So just have it in writing so it's done. So it's just, little things like that that I learned throughout this process.
Wow. One thing for me though, and I said I shared this on my show a few months back. I had a guest on here who was diagnosed with ovarian cancer,
Mm-hmm.
and I also had a guest on here who is a survivor of breast cancer,
Mm-hmm.
and I was telling her mammograms hurt and they are terrifying to me
Mm-hmm.
because I was 42 when I got my first mammogram. And I am so due for a mammogram right now. And I'm just being transparent and I'm being honest. But mammograms terrify me because my first one at 42, they called me back in like less than a week and said, we need you to come back
Mm-hmm.
um, and do a sonogram. And of course, I immediately got terrified because all I ever heard was, if they call you back, that means they found something. That's all I ever heard, even
Yeah,
before I
yeah.
have my. And when they called me, I'm at work, and my whole body had like a tingle all through it, to the point I couldn't sleep for days.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I hear.
yeah, I go back. They do a sonogram, and they were like, "We see a little spot, but they did some tests, and they was like, it's not cancer. You have lumpy breast."
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
I have to. They had me coming back like every 6 months
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
to make sure that what they saw was not growing and that it
Right.
really wasn't cancer. And I went through that for many years. And when I heard on the news, and I work in the medical field, and I heard nurses and everybody saying, well, you don't have to take a mammogram every year now. And I'm like, oh, thank you, Jesus. That was my way out. But I really, really need to go have my mammogram done. And I keep getting calls from the place to have it done. And Lorraine, I'm telling you right now, I am just, because I already know they're gonna call me back.
Oh,
I
because
already know I'm gonna get that
you're
call.
Miss Cleo, you're psychic now.
Because that's what they always do. It's like I go have the mammogram, and in a matter of a few days, I get a cold.
Well, don't you rather be safe than sorry? A mammogram saved my life. Because if I didn't have that mammogram, I wouldn't be sitting here talking to you today. Because my breast cancer diagnosis was triple negative, which is one of the more aggressive breast cancers. And for some reason, it's seen more in women of color than not. So if I had that mentality that you have, I wouldn't be here. So get your butt down to Toomey or whoever's doing it and get your mammogram.
Well, I live in DC, so I
Oh, okay.
am definitely going to.
John Hopkins or somewhere.
Yeah, and then we have so many clinics here where you can do walk-ins, and so many places here now that you don't even have to. Some of them are still closed because of the pandemic, but some are still open, have opened back up, to where really you can. There's certain times of the day or the week you can literally do walk-ins.
So you have no excuse. You don't not only do it for yourself, but your kids, your grandkids, because you just have a new one that was just born, right? A new
I just
grandbaby.
Yeah, he's they haven't gotten home yet. They both are still in. He was born Saturday.
Oh,
Um,
congratulations! Don't you want to be
thank
around
you.
to see him graduate from high school, college, or whatever? So you got to take care of you. And that was another thing that I had to learn because I'm always taking care of other people and doing for others and doing, And then I said, Lorraine, you got to take care of you in order for you to take care of anyone else. So
Yeah.
I became selfish for the first time in a long time to take care of me. And a part of taking care of you is getting mammograms and taking care of your health.
I am calling in the morning. when I
Thank
get
you.
to work,
Amen.
I'm actually going to call my doctor's office. Matter of fact, I'm going to go on the portal instead of calling, and I'm going to see if I can, if they have walk-in at my doctor's clinic to go. If not, I know a couple of ones that I can do walk-in.
Yeah, you gotta
I
do it.
just
You
kind
gotta
of
do it.
rather do, but yeah, I have to. I can't, even though I do my self exams every
That
single
oh
day, but
no,
it's
that's
not the
fine.
same.
No,
Right.
no,
It's not the
no.
same as
Yeah.
having a mammogram done.
Mhm. Yeah.
So I got somebody on here saying go schedule your appointment. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna
You are
trust
worth it.
I
You
am
are
gonna
worth it.
trust God,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna go have my mammogram done because it's way past due.
Yeah.
It
And
really
God helps
is.
those who help themselves.
Yes, he does.
So you got to help yourself. He'll give you the tools, but you got to use them. So yeah, just please, I urge every woman to get a mammogram, and yeah, just take your health in general. I have a new way of eating. I'm a plant-based kind of like eating person now. All the fried and the pork and that sort of thing. I mean, I'll have it once in a while, but nothing compared to how I
Yeah.
used to eat it. So it's more green, more plant-based, dinners and foods that I eat now, and I feel better, and I'm working out, and so it's me time. So
Yeah.
I'm taking care of me.
Yeah, and that's what I've changed my my diet, and all of the frieds and foods and all that stuff.
Mhm.
I try to stay away from. I'm like you, I indulge,
Mhm.
every now and then I will have it, but it's not like a
Yeah.
need thing for me anymore, you know.
Every Sunday there was that big dinner with macaroni and cheese and potatoes and this and that and fried chicken. It's like, you know,
Yeah,
it was every week, every Sunday, as opposed to just on the holidays.
yeah,
So you just yeah. And someone just wrote everything in moderation. Well, that's true. But
yeah,
with me, I know me. So if I start that little moderation thing, it's gonna creep up to something else. So I just keep it plant based and everything's baked or broiled or whatever. But
yeah. My best friend went to plant-based. She's been plant-based now probably about 2 years.
Mhm.
And she actually loves it. Yeah, and and that's what I'm trying to get to. I'm trying to get to the plant-based.
Mhm.
But it's like a mind over matter thing.
Yeah, yeah.
I
I mean,
think,
baby steps, baby steps.
yeah,
Everything is baby steps.
yeah, and I'm definitely getting ready to get back in the gym because some of the gyms here has opened back up. So I'm definitely getting ready to do that. But yeah, I'm gonna y'all might have to come on Facebook tomorrow and put a message on my wall and say Rebecca call and schedule your mammogram.
Exactly,
Because I'm
exactly.
sitting here thinking about it, and I kid you not, my whole body is shaking. I am freaking out just
Yeah,
thinking
I
about making the appointment.
just get it done. Just do it. Like Nike said, just do it.
And I should
Uh,
not be that scared, but it's so nerve wracking for me. It's like everyone I've ever had since age 42, it's
mm,
been like, and even when I went and had my colonoscopy done,
uh-huh.
I had that done like two years ago.
Mhm.
And I had that done because I was having another procedure done, and the doctor was like, "Have you had your colonoscopy done yet?" And I'm like, "Ugh, no, that sounds like it's gonna hurt." And he was like, "How old are you now?" And I was like, "I'm 55." And he said, "You're 10
Yeah,
years past."
yeah, yeah, yeah,
He said, "You should have had this done 10 years ago."
yeah, yeah.
He said, and he was from, I think from Korea or something like that. And he said, "Do you not know that in Black women that colon cancer
Mm.
is?" I
Prevalent.
said, I said, "I've been reading about it." I said, "I work in the medical field." I said, "So yes, I do know." He said, "So you have no excuses. Why have you not had your colonoscopy done?" And I did all I could do at that doctor's appointment to say, "No, I don't want to have it done." And that man had, when he was done with me, he said, "Listen, I got to put you to sleep anyway.
Exactly.
Why don't I do it? I'll do it while I'm doing what I need to do.
Yeah.
And lo and behold, I wake up from the colonoscopy. He comes back in the recovery room. You know, we found
Throws
something
up
in,
on me.
it's right here, and I'm going to send it up for a biopsy, and we're going to see what it is. It just looks weird. I don't know what that is. And are you kidding me? And it's like he finally sends it up, and it took him weeks to call me back. I mean, literally weeks to call me back. And this is how scary I am. If he don't call me, I'm not calling him. That's what I did.
Lord.
Seriously. Until finally my phone rings, I'm at work, and I look at the phone, and I'm like, oh my God, it's Washington Hospital Center. And I immediately knew what it was. And I answered the phone, and he says, this is Dr. So-and-so. And here I am sitting at my desk like this with tears in my eyes. And I'm like, oh my God. And he's talking about the procedure that I had. I said, well, what about the what you found in the colonoscopy? He said, oh, I didn't call you back. Oh, that was nothing. You okay?
Yeah.
I said,
Yeah.
really?
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot. Yeah.
I said, all these weeks I've been about crying myself to sleep. He said, no. He said, you're okay. He said, if I had found something, seriously, I would have called. And I'm on the phone like, did you just put me through all of that? Really? But that's how terrified that kind of stuff has me. But I'm gonna be a big girl, and I'm gonna
put your big girl panties on and go.
Lorraine, I am already nervous. You don't understand. I'm sitting here shaking. I'm already terrified.
And that's wasted energy because you don't know what the outcome is going to be. So why get yourself a bundle of nerves before you have to? You know, that's just my thinking.
And
cross
you're
that bridge
right.
when you get to it, so to speak.
You're absolutely right. But here I am. Yeah, if you're gonna trust God, you gotta trust Him, right? So I'm always talking about trusting God. I got you. Yeah, I'm gonna do.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
gonna do it.
Good. So when I had the after breast cancer surgery and I was going through radiation, they suggested that I take the BRCA gene test. And I'm like, okay, so just to see if I have the gene, in case, if I wanted to have a mastectomy or, for my son, it's good information for him for prostate or colon or whatever, so he could be, informed and on alert to have tests done earlier than later. So I did, and it took 6 weeks for it to come back. So I can relate to your story because I went in after 6 weeks. Well, they called and said, could you come in, for the results of your test? I said, well, could you just tell me on the phone? They're like, no. I'm like, okay.
Wow.
So I go in. I had a 3:00 appointment. And I went in, the lobby was full of people. And, one by one, the lobby is getting smaller and smaller. And then now it's just me. And it's like 3:15, 3:20. I'm like, what is going on? So I'm thinking they found something. They're having a meeting. I have the BRCA gene and it's positive. And, I'm thinking all this craziness. So the doctor finally called me. I go in the back and I sit in the little office and wait for the doctor. And I'm waiting. And I'm like, oh, wow. God. Yeah, exactly. So she finally comes in. And then before they give you the results, they'll tell you all about the test. I'm like, yeah, okay, and we did this test and we did that test, and I'm like, okay. And then she said, everything's negative. You don't have the BRCA gene test, and we tested for other things as well, and you're negative. I'm like, thank you so much. And I get out of here. But I guess that's just things they learn in medical school. Make them sweat.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Anyway.
But I'm gonna go. You have, and my guests before, y'all have, I told my guests before that I was gonna go, but I haven't made
You
that a point.
didn't.
I'm
Well, you
going.
don't want people to say, Rebecca was a lovely woman. You want people to say Rebecca is a lovely woman. So just, you have to think about you.
Yeah, I'm gonna do it.
And if something can
I'm
be
very serious.
avoided, you might want, just take care of it.
Yeah,
And you're setting an example for your kids.
that's true.
So
Yeah, I'm gonna do it. I'm serious this time. I'm listening to you and yeah, I'm serious. It's time. It's way way overdue.
yeah.
So I need to
So
go have it done.
so if anything I could say is just, take care of you. You come first, because if you can't help you, you can't help anyone else.
That's true.
You know. So, and this my journey, with writing the book, and I just said to myself, as far as the book is concerned, it just wasn't my time. God was like, just put this on pause, Lorraine. You have some more important things. You have your son to raise, and I did, and 20 plus years later, here we go. And back then there was no internet, so now I could just hit a button, and the book is everywhere.
Yeah.
So, and the book is doing extremely well. Um, I'm working on something else because everyone wanted to know what's going to happen next. What next is the main character, Jessica. So we're going to shine a light on Jessica. Why is Jessica the way she is, and things of that nature. Jessica has some issues that she needs to deal with. So we're gonna, broaden, put the magnifying glass on Jessica, and see what she's all about. Why she has this
Well, I need to
man
get your
hate going
book.
on.
I need to
Yes, you
get your
do.
book. Yeah.
It's,
Put in the comments when we get off as to how people can get it. And
sure.
I
Mhm.
definitely, I need inbox me or something so I can know where I can go to purchase it, because I definitely need to get a copy.
Yeah. Yeah, Amazon, Apple, Barnes and Noble, uh, DorrancePublishing.com, of course. Uh, pretty much any outlet online, Walmart.com, Target.com. So it's out there, but Amazon is where a lot of people go and get it.
Okay,
It's
that's where I'm going.
a story. It's a story about a young woman who's just trying to find her happiness. She's trying to find herself through relationships, career. When you think she has it all and she has it together, the bottom falls out, and here we go again. It's a roller coaster ride, and it's
Oh,
about life.
wow.
A lot of people can relate to Brenda. Everyone I speak with, and when I have book clubs and book signings, they're like, "I'm Brenda. How did you know?" And we have a little bit of Brenda in all of us.
Yeah.
Brenda, she's a Southern girl, just trying to find her happiness. Yeah.
Oh, I definitely got to read that. I'm intrigued now.
Now she
Yeah.
goes through some things. Let me tell you.
Oh, I got to order that.
So it's been a long time coming. Like I said, back in the '90s, I wrote it, and I've written a lot of other things, but this one, this was my baby, and I just wanted sort of thing.
Okay,
And,
guys, the book is called Still Searching.
mhm.
So let's get it. I'm going to start a
And
book club.
I would love to come. I would love to come to Sumter and do a book signing. We were trying to do something like that, but then COVID hit. So, maybe now that CDC is saying that we can step out now,
That's
I can come down,
amazing.
and do something.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that would be amazing for you to go home and do a
yeah,
book signing. I think that would be a nice event.
yeah, yeah. That's we're trying to work on something.
Oh, wow. Let me know if it's going to be on the weekend. Maybe I can get down there.
That'll be wonderful. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that would be amazing.
And we're
Well,
trying to
thank
do
you.
something at Johnson T. Smith doing homecoming. So we
Oh,
got
wow.
a couple of things in the works, and you know the book's still searching. There's some interest in it going to the small screen. So
Oh,
so,
yes.
so there's some talk. People are talking. So I've been in contact with a couple of production companies, and there's interest. So we'll see. We'll see.
This
I'll
is
throw it in the
amazing.
universe and see what happens. See, this
That's
probably wouldn't
right.
have happened. This probably wouldn't have happened, back in 1999 or 95.
You're
So
right.
like I said, God's like, it wasn't your time now. Now it's your time. So
Now's your time. I'm excited. That's amazing. A Sumter, South Carolina girl. Yes. Congratulations,
so,
sweetie. I
well,
will
thank you so
definitely
much.
be ordering your book. Um, Thanks for encouraging me to
Yes,
go get
yes.
my mammogram done because I'm going to go get it done. I'm going to put the fear aside and I'm going to put
Hmm.
my big girl panties on and I'm going to do what I have to do.
Fear kills.
Oh, wow.
Fear kills.
That's deep.
Uh, uh, you can't be afraid. Can't be. 'Cause fear paralyzes you, and you
It
can't be.
really
It keeps
does.
you in place, and you don't grow. So you gotta step out on faith. You know.
Yeah, I hear you. That was for me.
Yep.
That was for me. Yeah, I hear you. But I thank you.
You're welcome. Thank
I
you.
thank you
Thank you.
for
I
coming and
truly
hang out with
appreciate
me.
this.
Oh, this was amazing to me. I appreciate you. Your next project, whenever you want to come back, just let me know.
I will. I
You,
will.
you're
Thank you so
always
much.
welcome. I
This has
appreciate
been
you.
an honor. I truly appreciate it. And please tell your brother I said hi.
I definitely will. I definitely will. Thank you, love.
Thank you. God bless.
Bye bye.
Good night.
Good night. I thank you guys for being patient with us with all of the technical difficulties we had. But oh man, that was wonderful. So guys, I'm going to get my mammogram done. I'm going to schedule my appointment. I'm calling to go have it done. So thank you all for hanging out with us. Y'all see I'm losing my voice. It's been an amazing night. Thank you, Lorraine. I appreciate you. Thank you, Mary, because you encouraged me too. Thank you, thank you, thank you for joining us tonight. We'll see you guys on next Tuesday. Enjoy the rest of your night. And I hope to see you guys June 12th at Greenfield Farm, the Black Cowboys Ranch in Rembrandt, South Carolina at 5 p.m. for the night of praise and worship. You all have a good one. Good night and enjoy the rest of your night.